Concert hall just outside Moscow tonight. Matt Bradley with late details, and we have to warn you some of the images are disturbing. Tonight, terror strikes Russia's capital. Islamic State claimed responsibility for an attack on a concert hall in Moscow. Police wearing camouflage open fire, killing at least 4 people, according to Russian state media, and injuring at least 100 more.
We got it figured out. I was on here
We figured it out, friend.
we got it figured out. I'm good. How are you?
Girl, it's been a busy week, but I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I have so much to tell you off camera.
Oh, I cannot wait to hear. So today's session for Wisdom and Wine, we are going to be talking about you. So we are going to focus on you. That's what I made it about. I just said we want to talk. I want you to just go in and talk about Growth University, how you got it started, because I don't think we've ever done any of that. So I just thought, for this session, due to it being Women's History Month, and then we had International Women's Day, I just was like, well, let's just focus on you. Plus you have, your raffle going on. So I just thought this was perfect timing to kind of get that in. So.
Yes, and before I start, I just want to just say thank you for just being the supportive person that you are, because you have been so supportive in this whole journey. I remember when this was just an idea, girl, and now it's becoming a thing. But I've talked about Growth University just a little bit on. But Growth University is a community that I started, and this community, I have a vision for all African Americans in the Montgomery County area to have access to mental wellness.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my vision, and so I do that with a strategic 5-pronged approach to attacking mental health challenges. And so I attacked them head on with positive social media content on the Growth University page. I also got my life coaching certification so that I can start doing some one-on-one sessions with men and women. I also have a podcast where we talk about mental wellness. And then I do mental wellness workshops in the community. A lot of people know about my workshops, and that's starting to kind of build some traffic. So I'm very excited about that. And lastly, I have added something very dear to the brand, which is a retail item, which are my self-reflection cards. And this is a 57 deck of introspection cards that men and women can use to reflect. And they're full of deep, really good questions that people can ask themselves. They're meant for you to use for self-care, but also you can ask them to your partner, and depending on your child's age, you can even ask some of these questions to your children to try to stimulate their emotional development and just to build connections with them. So I did all of these things just to make sure that Black people have access to convenient and affordable mental wellness. Some people can't afford a therapist, some people can't afford a life coach, and some people just don't have time.
Right.
So this is my way of making sure that I have a platform with all types of different ways that people can pick their own outlet. If you want a life coach, I'm here. If you want to take care of yourself and be just doing your own navigation to your self journey, you can use the cards. If you want to just provide some self-care while you're on the go, I got a podcast. So I was very intentional in all of the ways that I put together the brand. And I'm just so excited because honestly, God has been leading me to everything that I have created. When I first started this, I really didn't know what it looked like. I thought it was just going to be about me. And I love how God just elevated the vision to be girl, it ain't about you.
Right.
Because it's not about me. And at first I thought that I was going to be vlogging my own growth journey, but God put me through everything that I went through so that I can help other people to navigate their growth journeys, their self-discovery and self-development. So it's really powerful, and I just love to see how God is making me a product of the product and changing me, but also allowing me to be a part of other people's changes in the community. So
how long have you been doing it now? Is it your
Wow.
1-year anniversary, or is it past
Dude,
it?
can you
Is
believe
it
that
2 years?
too? Yes, it's been 2 years.
Dang, that
I
time has flown
started
by. Yes, because
Growth
I remember you
University.
coming to me and talking to me about it, like the vision initially. It's
Hmm.
wow. So this is 2 years,
Yeah, well, excuse me, it's not been 2 years quite yet. It'll be 2 years in September. I'm wrong.
but
So
this year,
almost
right?
2 years. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you'll have to do something for your 2 year anniversary.
Yes. I don't know what I want to do if you hear RJ asking for stuff. Your juice is in there. I started to drop him off, girl, before we even started this, but
It's okay.
here you go. It's right here. I started to drop him off, but yes, I'm so excited. I don't even know what I should do. If I should do like a workshop that day. This is your juice. You gonna cut that out? There you go. Um, if I should do a workshop that month, or if I should do like another raffle for the cards, and like with these cards, I just want to get that
I was
get
gonna say I want you to show the cards. I want to see what I was gonna ask if you had them, so you can just show what they look like. The front. You don't have to show
absolutely
all of them, but just pick one out so people can see what the front looks like in the back, and
sure.
you
So
know.
these are the cards. They've got my logo on them, and I'm actually doing a raffle right now for this first deck because I'm just excited. I want to get them in people's hands, and I want whoever, like, first of all, the people who like poured into the business by just putting $1 in for the raffle. I appreciate all of you so much. And I'm doing the raffle. It ends this Sunday, and then this is the front of the card. So I went with like a very simple look, but
Mhm.
it's very effective. These questions, and if you want, I can pick a question on here that we can ask.
Okay, let's do
Okay,
that. We
girl.
can do it live.
Yeah, let's do it. Um, let's
Nothing
do
too
it.
personal. Nothing too personal.
Look, you like be easy on me, Tiara, because so this one I think is cool. Now, if you're not comfortable with this one though, please tell me and I will pick another one.
Okay.
What are your coping mechanisms when you're feeling stressed?
Oh my gosh. So I think that's an easy one for me. I think my coping mechanism when I'm stressed is humor.
Really?
Yeah. So there'll be times if something's going on and it's a stressful situation, like I'll joke about it. And I think people think I don't take things serious. It's like, no, it's just my coping. I realized as I got older, I do that. Like
Yeah.
even if other people are stressed, sometimes I may crack a joke and it's like not to be offensive. It's just my way of coping because I'm stressed because you're stressed. So like I got to lighten the mood because that type of energy, stressful energy for me, I just don't function well with it.
Yeah. Yes.
So I think I try to make like, you know what I mean? Like humor out of stuff, like try
Some
to do
lighten up the
right.
load a little bit, right?
Like let's crack a joke, haha, like, you know.
Mine
So
is
I do think that's one of my
cleaning.
coping mechanisms.
Girl, I be cleaning. When I'm really stressed out, it's like when my mind is like overwhelmed,
Yeah.
the first thing that I think to do is like clean. And I don't know. Like for a while there, I was wondering if I had OCD because I would be just cleaning the heck out of stuff.
Yeah.
But it really it's therapeutic for me. It kind of helps me to clear my mind and like compartmentalize everything that I
Yeah.
got going on and
Yeah.
be okay, well, what do I want to work on first after I clean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
clean when
Mine
I'm
used to be the
stressed.
gym. Mine used to be the gym.
Hmm.
It's not as much. Like I will like walk on the treadmill or go work out a little bit, but I mean, you've been to my house. Obviously, cleaning may be a little bit of my coping mechanism too.
I'm just playing. Girl, your house is
Girl,
so
don't
clean.
judge. Don't be judging.
No, this is the great thing, honey. Listen, that's what men like that. They'd rather you have a clean house than a filthy one, amen.
I
So
said I could never say to my friends who really know me and be like, make sure you call first so I can make sure my house is together. They'd be like, girl, bye.
no, if I popped up on you right now, everything is spick as fan. For sure.
Oh, shoot.
Yes.
So we will put into our comments, like in the comments when we get done, we can put how people can do $1 if they want to get in the raffle.
Hmm.
I think that would be a good idea. I think in the comments too, I don't know What is the way people, if they want to sign up for you, with you, to do like a session, a one-on-one session? So where can they do
Go
that
to
at?
the Growth University page, and we can also leave that in the comments too, just so people can check out the community, check out what kind of content I post. But if you slide in my DMs, I do currently have free consultations. They're about 20 minutes long. It doesn't take long, but I just want to see like what it is that people are looking for in a life coach, what some of their goals are, because, you know, my niche is self-discovery. So if somebody is looking for help with their career, I'm not the life coach for you. I'm not coming with you.
Come on.
You're messing up my marketing and advertising.
Come on, mommy.
Come on, mommy.
Girl, you better give him a snack. You know RJ be good for a snack.
Listen,
Give him some cereal.
This child just ate. Excuse me. Stop yelling at me. That is not the way to get me to help you. That is not the way to get me to help you. Go upstairs. Go up there. Here, you want to say hi to girl? You acting a fool. I'm not going to let you say hi to girl if you acting crazy.
He say no.
He going up there. He wants me to come upstairs with him. You are not hurting. Girl, this little new stuff he's been doing, acting like he is in pain. You are not hurting. We just left the museum, by the way, y'all. So that's why I'm being so patient and giving him grace.
I was going to say.
He is tired. Okay, I'm going to leave you in your space. Do your thing. But yeah, he played his heart out at the museum. And then I fed him. So he really is due for a nap. He just ain't going down. He wants his mama to follow him. Yes. Okay, I will leave that information in the comments, but it's pretty easy to get in touch with me if you do want to do one-on-one life coaching sessions. I have different packages available for clients, and I can do virtual or I can do in person. I prefer to do in person just because I like to, connect with people. But
right. I can't hear anything, girl. I was a parent, so that just goes right out for me.
Oh, it's
I know how to ignore them little kids.
Amen. Listen, I didn't get this certification for nothing. It's giving me patience and God's love.
You be
and
seeing when I be over there and be around him, I be like, nobody thinking about you, RJ. No, RJ, nobody want to hear all that.
Right. You see, he is fine because like he's quiet now, so he gonna wait and then he gonna ram it back up. I know that. Yeah. That's his new thing, girl. When he like is in trouble, like if I'm getting on him or if he doesn't like what is happening, he'll be like, "I'm hurting." I'm like.
So when it comes to your podcast, how often do you if people want to go check it out, do you do one once a week? Do you do one every couple of weeks? Like how often do you upload a new session?
Great question. So I do podcast episodes monthly. In order for me to like navigate this whole brand, because I am doing everything all by myself. I have not gotten to a place where I'm getting help with everything just yet. So I do the episodes monthly, and I just I pick different topics that revolve around mental wellness. And then also what I love about the podcast is it gives me the opportunity to be transparent with people. So, here and there, I may tell a story or, I may talk about some things that I'm going through or some things that I'm dealing with. But so I have episodes on there about boundaries, about healing. And I also try to make sure that they are not longer than like 20 minutes. So like a couple of episodes on there are very short. I feel like, I want to make sure that I keep people's attention, and that's hard to do in this time of technology. So with that being said, I try to just keep them short but effective episodes. And I'm really excited about my episode for April because I'm going to have a man on the podcast, and we're going to yes, and he'll be my very first guest ever. And we're going to be talking about a man's perspective of, just mental health. And I don't want to like give too many details, but he definitely has had some mental health challenges that it was hard for him to navigate through. So I'm excited for him to just curate a safe space for other men to
Yes.
listen to the podcast and
Yes.
maybe be able to relate. And then I'm interested in just hearing about some of those things because it'll probably be so helpful for me whenever I am in a relationship in the
Yeah.
future. So,
Yeah. And I think it's so important, like, for men to have a safe space. Like, I think we've kind of touched on that a little bit.
yeah.
So mental health is very more prominent in the African American men community, in the community in general than what people try to talk about, especially within the Black men,
Mm-hmm.
our Black men, because I feel like they don't always have a safe. Men in general don't, but especially our Black men. I think that there's this stigma against it and talking too much about mental health, or them just feeling like they can come to us even as their partners and feel safe to
Yeah.
communicate, whatever they
Because
have going on.
we want like we want a man to lead us, right? Like we look for men to lead us or be, our safe space. But
Hmm.
sometimes in that we kind of like overshadow that they need the same things.
Right.
So I'm really grateful that this growth journey has taught me that because like before God put me on this journey, I definitely was kind of oblivion to, and that's so like, I'm not even embarrassed to say that. That's just me
Right.
being honest is that, that's just something that kind of
Right.
went to the back of my brain. I would
Right.
always be like, I want somebody to support me, to understand me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what about my partner though? So,
Yes.
little things like that, little nuggets like that are reasons why I feel like God put me in this season before, blessing me with a long-term,
Yeah.
relationship. So,
Yeah. And
yeah.
I just saw a video today, the irony of you saying that about what about me? And I just was watching a video, I think it was on Instagram, and that's what they were discussing. And the man was saying how like in relationships, we go into relationships at like just me, instead of saying, okay, well, what can I give for my part? What do I have to offer to my partner?
Yeah.
We always ask, and then he even used the topic about prayer. Like we always ask God for what we want. Me. We don't like always ask God what we want him to do for others. It's always about us, about self. But I mean, I've
Hmm.
always said, and I've made a post about it like years ago, and I always said, if you're a selfish person, we all are to an extent.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's just,
Because
it's not like
it takes a certain level of maturity to be able to step outside of yourself. I mean, because
yes, yes,
we live inside of our
yes,
heads. So to
yes,
that selfishness that you're talking about, it takes a level of maturity and like genuine self understanding to be able to step out of that and
right,
acknowledge somebody else's need.
right. And I always say, I made a post a long, long time ago, and I said, if you're a selfish, like I always say, relationships are a selfless act.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it's an emotional, if it's a friendship, it's still a selfish give and take. A selfless give and take. You know what I mean? If you are a friend and you're always taking
Mhm.
and you're never giving them, you know what I mean? You have to be selfless to be in those type of relationships, or else you lose them because you're always wanting people to do for you, and you're always the victim, and you're always, expecting people to go above and beyond for you, but then you don't do that for them. So
And speaking of, friend, one of the Growth University self-reflection cards, one of the questions that I ask is, how do you show up for other people around you? And I was very intentional in putting that card in there because we always want people to show up for us, but like, what about the other people around you? Like, are you genuinely showing
right,
up for your
right,
friends, for your family, for people that support you? So like, questions like that is meant for you to reflect on that. And if you are not showing up in the best way, that's the moment to acknowledge
right,
that, be accountable,
right,
and
right,
take an action step afterwards. So, but yeah, I love that for us though, that we are in a space where we can talk about stuff like that and where we can be like open and willing to like fix some of those behaviors
yes,
that we've been stuck in for a while.
right.
Maybe not even like
Yeah.
knowing.
Yeah. I know for me being such a, not that we didn't really come into this with a topic. I just wanted you to really talk about Growth University. But I know for me being somebody who is a giver, it can be a little overwhelming. I've had to learn to step back and take my own space and to remind myself not to take things personal when it comes to others because I can be a giver and overgiver. It's just my nature for
Yeah.
people I love, not just to anybody, obviously. Like
Right. Right.
outsiders, you can't usually get much love out of me at all. That's because the people I love are taking it all.
Hmm.
But I'm not empathetic. I'm not going to say empathetic, but I'm not outsiders. I'm real like weird with new people too much to the extent so I get to know you. But people I love, I know I can like give and give and give and give. And, and I don't do it to get in return. But for me, because I am such a giver, it can be exhausting. You know what I mean?
Right.
It can be a little overwhelming, sometimes exhausting, but it's my own thing I do. You know what I mean? So I sometimes have to take that shut down and be like, whoo, like it's too much, so.
It's a part of like your love language, really. It's like just acts
Mhm.
of service. But you really are such a like doting person though. When you love people, you'll just think about them in the smallest ways. Like even me, there's been times where like we'll link up for lunch or something, and you'd be like, I saw this journal, like, and I do love and appreciate that about you. But there are
Yeah.
some people who could take advantage of that,
Yeah.
so it's really like it's a scary thing when you have like a pure heart in situations, because even me, I have some ways about me where like I'm so like kind and very like open to like newness, when it comes to friendship. Like I'm very optimistic, and sometimes that does work against me because everybody doesn't have
Your
those
interest.
intentions.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep. And I used to be very open to newness, and as I've gotten older, I'm not as much. And it may be kind of more because I'm set in my ways. I'm not that I'm not open. It's just if I meet new people and my energy is off like just a snippet, now I'll be like weird, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I can't really get jiggy with you too much. Like I'll just
Yeah.
kind of So
Trust
I'll be
your
like,
intuition though, friend, because like I'm learning that too. Like you can meet somebody that's a good person for one person, but
yes,
y'all's energies may
yes,
be oil and
yes.
water.
And it's crazy because I tell people that all the time. People assume because, that would be, for instance, example, you have friends that I'm cool with, you know what I mean, that I've been around for your birthdays and stuff like that. But just because they're cool with
Hey,
you don't
boo
mean,
thing.
just because they're cool with you doesn't mean they're going to mess with me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You've known some of those girls for years. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that we don't mesh or I don't like, you know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
got along with all your friends, but
Yeah.
there again, you know what I mean? To me, I look at them as like, those are your friends, you know what I mean? And if I happen to click with one, I click. And
Mhm.
normally I just see them when we get together. But sometimes people get it misconstrued and think everybody should just get along and hang out. And it's like, it doesn't always go
Yeah.
that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people, if I have a get together at my house, like, yeah, there's going to be people that talk.
I don't know what. Uh-oh. You muted. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, friend? Your phone is, I think, is muted. There we go.
I was like, let me figure out how to get it unmuted. Muted.
We was
Dear,
chopping it
dear,
up, girl.
dear keeps calling me, but I can't. I'm like, why are you? I don't know why he's calling me. So,
Okay. You said
because I'm
Derek's calling you?
mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, girl. Trying to think if there was anything else that like I missed. We will definitely put the information in the comments. And thank you for letting me talk about my platform on here, because it does mean a lot to me. What I'm doing, like I was a decorator for 10 years before this, and like I feel like I got a lot of resistance from people who supported me in decorating before I started this. Like I'll be like, no, I'm rolling into coaching, and people
Yeah,
would be like, why? You're so good at decorating. And like for a second, it would kind of make me feel guilty for wanting to change my passion. But it's like,
right.
even if I'm good at something, if I'm not happy doing it no more, if it doesn't speak to my soul anymore, then like, I want to move forward. I feel like I got all that I could get out of decorating. And it's amazing too, just how like with decorating, I really was feeling like I was doing a service for people. I was like, this makes people
Right.
happy. I'm a part of people's
Right.
moments. But with this, I'm still helping people, but in a much, much more deeper way, in a like more spiritual way. Things are happening. So I just enjoy this so much more. And
Yeah. And I
also,
do, I remember doing a couple, like going with you to a couple of decorating sessions, and you just
I was
seeming
sick
like you was just
of that shit,
over
wasn't
it.
I? I'd be like, yes, it's time to go break down. Come on.
I know,
You
right?
know, yeah, I needed my peace, and also I needed that journey because it taught me some of the like basic elements of being a business owner. But there was so much that I was doing wrong and didn't realize that I was doing wrong with that business. So with this brand, I'm just correcting all the things
Right.
that I didn't do right the first time. So like God knew what He was doing. He was like, "Look, I'm gonna start you off here, and then we're gonna take you here where you decorating people's lives." There we
Right.
go. Amen.
Right.
All
Right.
right. Do you want to do another card?
Yeah, we can do another
I
card. I
mean,
wanted
you
to make
know
sure I,
good. By the
I,
way, I do want
I
to.
got I had to make sure I messaged my child, my man child, calling me twice and make sure he good. So,
I'm trying to find one that's like good, but like not too deep for the live.
girl, because I'll be like, nope, I ain't
You be
answer that question.
like Tiara. If you say my name or just sit there and smile, I'm gonna know. Like, yeah, no,
Right.
pass. Come on, come
Like, popped up in I got that, it popped up us being at Planet Fitness. It popped up in Planet Fitness, where you was walking on the treadmill and you was like, she's killing me. And I looked over at you like, Tiara. And then I was like, stop it.
on. Right. I look. Okay. Pick one. My right hand or my left hand.
Lord, let's go with the right hand.
Okay. Looking back, if you could give your younger self any words of wisdom or advice, what would you say?
Oh my gosh, I would tell my younger self to budget better.
Girl, listen. That's
And
probably
just
something that
not
I should
to
tell my
be,
younger self too.
and,
Shoot.
and maybe just to like enjoy life. I mean, I felt like I had having a son so young and having a kid so young, I felt like I grew up so
Yeah.
fast, and so a lot of things that my friends was doing, I wasn't really able to do as much of because I had had a little person at home or my budget was tight or,
Yeah.
but definitely I think that, yeah, probably tell myself back then to budget better.
Yeah.
And think about that credit because when you young,
Girl.
I mean, when you in your 20s, you ain't really thinking about your credit too much. At least I wasn't,
I
I
just wish
mean,
that I would have known some of the stuff that I know now. I wish I would
yeah,
have known them
yeah,
younger. Like right when I
yes,
had Kennedy, I wish
yeah,
that I would have
yeah,
known about certain things that I
yeah,
needed to do to set
yeah.
her up for success.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
I
Like
do.
start account for Derek and start putting money in it. So when he got older, he had stuff. And
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I definitely that's probably what I would tell. One of the things, few things. I mean, gosh, it would be so much.
Yeah.
There
I
be a
would
lot.
say the advice that I would give my younger self friend would be to be patient because I was gonna have to wait anyway.
Right. Right.
Girl, I was trying to rush everything. Like my process with so many things, I was just trying to rush it or make sure that everything was perfect. And
Right.
and it's like, why? Like
No.
why
Yeah.
why are you doing that? And you are gonna have to be patient anyway. Like
Right.
no matter how much you rush it, you're actually like not helping yourself trying
Right.
to rush the process.
And
So
sometimes when you rush things, it fails because
yeah.
you're not like just letting the making it work itself out or letting the plan, do what it just needs to do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And like this season right now, like I'm just, well, because we've had talks, but like I'm just really letting everything flow. Like it's nothing that I feel like I just absolutely want or gotta have right now, or like I'm really just like, you know what? It's cool.
Yes.
Whatever happens for me is gonna happen for me. And in the meantime, I'm just embracing like the present and I'm embracing like who I am right now.
Hmm.
Because that self-discovery journey might change again in the next 5 years. So it's
Yeah.
like just right now, I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm just chilling how I be
It
chilling.
it'll probably change when your kids get older.
Yeah, because we have also talked about how you kind of had to go on another, not self-discovery journey, but like once he left the house, I know that that was like a
Yeah.
whole other
I had to figure,
situation.
I feel like I had to figure out who I was. Like, I felt like I've had to do that a couple, like maybe twice that I really know of. But my first time doing it was definitely when Derek left the house, because I went through empty nest. And when I went through that, nobody was going through empty nest. All my friends had little kids because I had him at 17, so I went through empty nest at like 37 years old, or like 38. I was young, I mean?
Yeah.
So my friends was like just having babies, like they had kids in elementary school. So nobody could relate to what I was feeling because, I was, so I went through that. And I really had to find out who I was outside of being a mom, because that was all I knew. So even
Yeah.
though I'm still a mom now, I had to find out what it was I really wanted to do, because I never focused on that because I always was a mom my whole life. I was raised in being a mom. You know what I mean? So then it was like, okay, well, what do you want to do with yourself? Like, I always felt like I was so goal oriented, but that was the one time I sat back like, oh my gosh, like I've had Derek to do everything with me. That was the first time I actually went to the movies by myself, and he used to tell me to do that stuff, but it was so foreign to me because I always had him. He went to the mall with me. And, I mean, I know friends who have girls that they do stuff together, but I had a son and he did everything with me. Like, Derek was glued to my side. We was just close. So, and I felt like he felt like my protector. That's why. So, he always felt like he needed to be with me to protect me if anything happened. So yeah, when he left, girl, that was like a good couple months of mild depression easily.
Yeah. And thank you for like even just saying that, because I feel like some moms don't. I mean, well, first of all, some of us don't even want to look ahead that far, even though it's rolling right around the corner. Like,
Yeah.
some of us don't even want to like fathom what that looks like
Yeah.
when our kids, go out on that.
Hi, RJ. Where's my friend?
And talking about some, give me a hug, because he want to get up
Hey, friend.
to me.
Hi, friend. Hi.
Say hi, girl.
Hi, RJ.
He calls her girl.
Hey, friend.
Why don't you go play with Legos or read a book? You want Legos or a book?
Where we go?
You want to play with Legos. See ya. Go get your Legos.
Yeah, I think I think it's important to get prepared for that, because I never was definitely prepared
Yeah.
for that emptiness.
I'm trying to prepare for it in little ways, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, even like Kennedy's, like her account and RJ's account. Like, I'm trying to make sure like that they have enough allocated towards like some of the big purchases that are going to happen.
Right.
I'll talk to you a little bit about some of the ideas that I have
Yeah.
to try to make sure that they don't have a lot of debt. But for me, emotionally, I don't know what that looks like. And then like,
Yeah, you can't prepare yourself emotionally, but mentally, I feel like it has to be one of those checks to be like, it's coming.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because when it hit me, I was like, oh my God, like this is like, I would just go over my friend. Yeah, and it didn't help that I called off an engagement around the same time frame, like a wedding.
So that
It
was
was like
probably
right around, yeah, it was a little bit of everything, but him moving out really was like, yeah, because he went in the army, so I couldn't talk to him for like a month. I couldn't speak to him when he left. He was in boot camp, and yeah, it was really hard. I would just go to my friend. I had my friend Amy, bless her heart, because I would just go to her house, girl, and just sit there. Like, she'd be working, and I just would be sitting there watching TV, crying, like, just so I wouldn't be by myself.
Yeah.
Girl, I would go in my son's room and just crawl in his bed and just cry. I mean, I look back now laughing, of course, but at that time it was real. I just was like, my house, I don't know what to do with myself. You know what I mean? I just didn't know what to do with myself. But now, girl,
See, and
I'm
friends,
like, when he came back and lived with me, I loved my son being around. We're close. But when he left, I was like, there was no emptiness. I'd be like, I love you, Derek, but bye.
yeah. See, yeah.
Get on out.
Girl. Like, I don't know. it's hard because for one, I'm an overthinker and I'm really trying to like release some of that. Like at first I used to embrace it like I'm an overthinker, like but I'm realizing it doesn't always work in my favor. So I'm trying to like let go of some of that.
Yeah.
But whenever I think about my kids leaving the nest, first off, I'm more worried about RJ than I am Kennedy. And that's something that I'm realizing,
Yeah.
and of course it's because he is special needs,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
um, okay, babe. With Kennedy, she's so self-sufficient. My girl is
Right.
very smart. She's very independent. And like as the oldest, she makes me so proud. I know my girl is gonna be just fine. Like,
Yeah.
and I still want to be there for her. I'm still gonna be sad for me. I'm still gonna cry and all of that. But like, I just know my girl has a plan. Like, but with RJ, I'm terrified people are gonna take advantage of my baby. I'm terrified that, you know, people, if God forbid something happened to me, people wouldn't want to allocate his funds to him, correctly. Like I think about stuff like that and I really get overwhelmed, Michelle. Like I just, I want him
Make sure
to
you
be,
get somebody and make sure you get stuff in place for,
yeah.
him.
I've been thinking about that kind of stuff, but it's like, it does scare me. Like, cause don't get me wrong, I want him to leave the nest.
Right.
I want him to have like a apartment or, and I want him to be able to work and date and all of that. But I feel like as his mom, I'm terrified I'm gonna be that hovering mom. Like, you okay? I don't
Girl,
want to
we're
be
gonna be sitting back here 20 years from now because how old is he? So
he'll be 5 this year.
yeah, so we're gonna be sitting here maybe a little less than 20 years, and we're gonna be laughing about this whole conversation. Be like, girl, remember
Girl,
when you was worried about RJ? He gonna be married. He be good doing fine. He gonna be like, I'm
I
good.
hope so. Listen, I'm gonna be trying
He'll
to
be
give him
fine.
all the cues. I'm gonna be like, if somebody is asking you for this, take that as a red flag. I'm gonna
Girl.
try my best not to, because I want him to be his own entity. I want him to be independent. I want my boy to, live his life. But I just can't help it that I be worried
Yeah.
about him.
Yeah. And I think he will, like, I always be laughing because RJ he is his own person. He ain't thinking about you. He ain't thinking about Kennedy. He ain't thinking about me. He don't care what any of y'all think about nothing. He got it. Like, but the minute we
Yeah.
became friends and I met him, if you remember, I always used to be like, girl, he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And, look where he's at now. He's gonna be good. I got faith in RJ.
I pray that he is.
I got faith in him.
Yeah, I pray that he is. I feel like he will be
I
too.
got
It's just,
yes, I do. I think he's gonna be fine. I got faith in my friend. He
I'm
knows it. When I see
wonderful.
him, when I see him, we be on the same page. RJ,
Yeah, yes.
That's
Oh,
why he be looking at me smile. I'll be like, I know you gonna be good. We ain't second guessing RJ. He fine.
yes, yes, girl. Oh, and I mean, just speaking of like just this being Women's Month, like I was thinking about it before we hopped on this live. I was like, we still are battling through stigmas
Women's History
and
Month. Yes.
yes, we're still battling with stuff like just to this day, all these like gender, like one gender, like males can do things that females cannot do, like
Yeah.
it's just so much that we still are like battling and struggling through. And I don't want to make this like we're talking like it is a battle. It shouldn't be.
Right. 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 Right.
But just I'm happy that they did like acknowledge us in this month because it's so powerful being a woman. It's hard, but it's so
Yeah.
powerful. And
And all the women that came before us, everything they fought so hard for. Sometimes when I be watching TV, I just be like, man, you know what I mean? Like everything that was fought for us to have and for our rights and stuff, and to see some things kind of revert backwards again, it's a
yeah,
little bit unnerving.
yeah. Um,
I think
like
it's a little bit unnerving at times, but
it is. Who would you
But
say? And this is if you can like think of somebody, because this is like a off the brim question, but like who would you say is a woman who, um, it could be like someone living or someone who is deceased that you really like admire for what kind of impact she made?
oh my gosh, if I was to say, and this is only because I have watched the movie and read some books, but if I was to say a woman, I'm going to take a really, 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 really far back, and I would definitely say Harriet
Yeah.
Tubman,
Yeah.
because especially when I saw the movie, it gave me so much more admiration for her, because I just think of everything that she had to go through as a female during that time,
Yeah.
and what she overcame, and how she helped so many people through the Underground Railroad and fought, you know, and just her power that she had, and believing in God, and just to get her through all that.
Absolutely.
I couldn't. I think of the stuff that we go through now that we barely can handle.
Mhm.
Like, I can't imagine that. And the stuff she was doing was stuff men was
Yeah.
doing. You know what I mean? So, yes, definitely her. She would definitely be somebody who I think of. Like, I could watch that movie about her over and over, because I just think, wow,
I can't. I really can't imagine emotionally like how things how things were for our ancestors. Really,
Yeah.
like how they were able to like really just put all of that to the side and just exude so much strength through like such a painful time.
Have you been to the Freedom Center here in Cincinnati yet?
Nope, we're gonna
Oh,
have to
we're
make a
gonna have
trip, girl.
to go. Yeah, we're gonna have to go. It would even be, it would be something interesting for you to take Kennedy. Of course, I don't think at this point RJ would grasp it too much, but she definitely would. Um, but I think they have a slave pen in there that they actually found on somebody's land. I think the slave pen actually was a barn. I think it was, if I remember the story correctly, I think a barn had been built over it maybe or something, and they had to like break it down and then move it into the museum and build it back up. And
Oh wow.
so there was a slave pen in there. And I remember when it first opened, I took Derek. Like, I always would try to take him to that kind of stuff for that
That's
reason.
good.
And I remember going in that slave pen and just feeling like that energy that was still in that, and there, and in it, at the top, there's like a beam, and then there's like those like hooks, because what they would do is put the slaves, put them, and have them, they'd have one arm up so they couldn't. And it tells you the story of it, but I highly recommend to everybody to check out the Freedom Center. The exhibits are normally the same, but they will have different like shows in there and stuff like that. But they will change out some of the stuff. But I felt like the slave pen alone was just so overwhelming, because
Yeah.
we can never fathom, what our ancestors went through for us to be here today. And me, I'm not somebody, and because you've been around me a lot, I'm not somebody who really complains a lot about life. You don't really hear me complain too much. Like you've even said, like, if you need to vent, I must need it. I don't really have a lot of vent sessions, because I just try to be grateful for being here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, but yes, we will definitely have to make a trip down there. We will definitely have to make a trip into Sleep. And it talks about, the females, talk about, Women's History Month. It does talk about and highlight. They might have something going on this month actually because of Women's History Month, to
I
highlight
wouldn't
maybe
doubt it.
female, the female slaves who have impacted. I don't know, but outside of the slave pen, they have a letter. Um, that you can read that was of a slave owner, and how much like the black men went for the children, the females. Like, it's a whole letter talking about it, and it's just really deep, because it's hard to like really wrap your brain around it, because you're
Yeah.
just like, this is so crazy, like that,
Hmm.
this occurred. So yeah.
And it's like, even though we have like moved through that time, we still have he made his way up here, girl. I'm trying to hide from
let him
him.
just
But
let him
like,
let him
yes.
he
But
he,
like,
he playing something.
yes. We just still have
Hey, friend.
we just still got so far to go, girl.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
even at the museum today, like when we were at the museum today, something kind of happened that made me feel away. Like, as soon as we came in, like, these we came in the room where there was like a bunch of blocks, and like these little white kids, as soon as they saw us sit down to start building blocks, they started taking the blocks and like moving them to where they was, and like, so I had to like have RJ get the blocks and pull some over to us, and then a little girl tried to hurry up and and mind you, she probably wasn't no older than like 5, but she tried to take one back, and I was like, you have to share, like you have to share the blocks. And so she was like, but I had this one. So I just let it go. And I was like, you know what? Well, RJ, we're going to grab all these other ones.
Right.
So the little girl's mom like told her to come over, and she must have said something to her about, giving me the block back. That little white girl walked over and threw the block at me. And I just acted like I didn't see her, and I kept on playing with my baby. But like after that happened, I could feel the energy was so uncomfortable in there, and the lady ended up leaving with her kids and left us in there. So it's
Yeah.
like just little shit like that happens. It's like we got so much further to go. Like, and
Yeah.
I know deep down inside, like I'm not gonna sugarcoat that in no type of
No.
way. Deep down
No.
inside,
Yeah.
it was definitely race. They probably just didn't want us in there because we was black, or
Yeah.
or they weren't used to black people
Yeah.
being around, you know what I mean? I don't know what the underlying, but I know it had something to do with race. Like I
Right.
felt it. I felt
Right.
it. So
Right.
it's just like stuff like that still happens. And like RJ was oblivious to all of that happening. He just was trying to build, okay? But as his mom,
RJ, like, I just
like
need a block.
he just needed a block, girl. And look, she went and took that one, and he was so worried about this other one with the hole in it. He was like, woo,
Right.
But like as his mom, I just was having to advocate for him. And like
Right.
I can't always be there
Right.
to advocate
Right.
for him through issues like that. So having a black son that, you know, has some developmental milestones to still meet, and he may not always fully comprehend that somebody is mistreating him. So it's like just stuff like that we just have to think about still. We have to still be conscious of all of these issues. But I know that was deep. I didn't expect us to go there.
Oh,
But
no, you're
like
fine. Did you ever look into, didn't we have a discussion one time, just because we're on live and there could be somebody else who this information would be good for? Did we have a discussion, or somebody told you, or I might have told you, and I seen something about how you can go to the police and have your child put in the system or whatever to say, like,
yeah.
wasn't there
So
some type of program or something like that, just because I feel
so
like with you see so many kids, what I mean, so many people, even as adults, who parents then are like, he had, mental health, or he was this, or, that are adults that people don't know about. I'm like, I really feel like it should be important through the law enforcement, through them, to have a
where
system where they can
they can
run,
know if a
once
child
they
is
run, like
autistic
run,
or
yes, if they
I,
have a license or an ID, where if it comes up, it says, like, if they have actually been medically diagnosed as having something, so they're aware, instead of just automatically thinking they're tripping for no reason.
I 100% agree with you because the police have already killed an
Yeah,
autistic boy.
yeah.
Um,
Because
so when
wasn't he
I did,
nonverbal? Wasn't he nonverbal, or was
no,
he? Wasn't
he was
something?
he was verbal
But he
because
was. He
like
was. When he
as
had
they were killing him, he was like, why are you like, what did I do? Like he
Yeah.
was talking to them. So
Okay.
um but I did call the police, and I told them, I said, hey, I have an autistic son who does, he kind of like he'll dart
Right.
off. And I'm
Yeah.
concerned, I don't want, like, I want it to be in the system so that if anybody comes across him, they'll know, he's mine, so that he can be returned to sender.
Right.
Okay. And they basically told me that I would be they were like, we don't have a system, at least in the Montgomery County area. They don't. He was like, we don't have a system that, we can put him in, but if you send us an email with his information, then if we come across him, um, we'll all look into that email system to see if we got any information about him. And he recommended that I put like what are those things you can put in your bag, like your luggage, if you are traveling? It's kind of like a tag, an
Yes.
air tag. They
Yeah.
recommended that I put an air tag on RJ, like as a necklace or something. So if there are other autistic moms that do tap in, if you have a child that like roams off, that may be something that you can consider, is putting an air tag on your child. But that's all that they had to offer me. So I do hope that something changes. I hope that evolves or whatever in this area. But in the meantime,
Now,
I just have to.
now my son has an air tag on my grandbaby.
He does.
Mm.
What is it on him as a necklace?
His bag.
Oh, okay.
While he's at school, just so, because if he don't have his phone at school, then
I
he
think it's a
knows.
good idea,
So he does
honestly.
have it.
Even if
Now,
you don't
granted, if it's air,
have a child.
now granted, because if he leaves the school, if he's anywhere like after school, what I mean. I mean, he takes him to the bus stop, but like if he leaves the school, when he gets home, when he's walking to the house from the bus stop, what I mean. he has an air tag on him in case something.
Yeah.
You never know, because people be
People are
snatching
crazy.
kids off the sidewalk. So
Yes.
yeah,
These
my
sex
son
trafficking.
definitely does the air tag thing. So
Yeah.
he bought him one. So I
I'm
think he got it through Amazon.
okay. I'm I'm totally open to it. I'm open to it for sure, even with Kennedy, just because, she's getting older, she's developing, and people are crazy. So I'm open to it. I just really hope that they change something, like something evolves over time where they are open to like putting, labels in the system for people. Because like
Yeah,
if you talking to somebody and they are nonverbal, you don't want to think or just assume that that person is not responding to you,
right,
that you need to be aggressive, or like they just need to know. So
right,
even if they put it on like their license or something in some
right.
sort of way, even if
That's
it's
how
just like a
I
person
think, like, if
or
you have a license or an ID, even if you don't drive, like most
yeah.
people have to have a state ID. So I feel like when that is issued, it should be on there when they run your
Hmm.
ID and come up that type of information. If you've been medically said, you know what I mean? There's some people who don't have never been medically diagnosed, but I feel like if you've been medically diagnosed, that should be some information that should be in a system through the
I agree. For
through the
schizophrenia, for
like
mhm.
to where they could pull it up. But I don't know how they would work that. Everything moves slow if you ask me, but
Girl, yeah. But let it be little Elizabeth Flaw.
right.
She's moving quick. I'm shut whatever.
You said little Elizabeth. Becky with the good hair.
Okay. Let it be her law, her story. I'm just playing.
Oh, girl.
But yes, girl, I really appreciate you so much just for being the person that you are again.
Well,
And
I am so proud of you. When is your next workshop? When is your
my
next
work
workshop? Let's go ahead and get that out there.
so my workshop is April the 28th. That's a Sunday, and it is from 3 to 4:30. And I have a financial coach coming on, and her name is Nell Latrice. And she is gonna be talking. I see it, baby. She is going to be talking about, well, the name of the workshop is In My Bag, Mentally and Financially. So I'm going to be talking about financial trauma and all of the mental things that you have to have in order to, be successful with your money and to just be successful, period. Because
Hmm.
I was and like as I was creating the presentation, I was doing some research um, about African Americans and like the poverty rates versus like other cultures, how they have emergency funds more than we do, how they're paid more than like it's just so much that's going to go into this workshop, and I'm really excited to get that information out so people can marinate on it and hopefully um let it seep into where they want to make that change for them
Yeah.
and their children. But also, one of the things that I thought was so interesting is that 50% of stress, like that people go through, or 50% of what we are stressed about most of the time, is our finances. And I was like, at first, I'm like, what? But then I was like, nah, that definitely seems to be true. I mean,
It
because
ends a lot of marriages and everything, like
yes, like
relationships. Yeah.
so 50%, I'm talking about that's half. That is half of your brain, basically. That's half of like what's on people's minds is how they're gonna get, money, how they're going to provide. So it's like I'm gonna be talking about that mental piece, and then she's gonna go in with the financial piece, and there will be food and drinks included. And then also she is providing a financial budget planner for people. So she's gonna be dropping gems. I'm gonna be dropping gems, and I'm just
That's
really
dope.
excited about it. I think it's going to be a good time. And
Yeah.
the location that we have, I love the aesthetic of the place. Like literally, I don't have to go in and do no type of
Where's it going to
decorating.
be at?
It's going to be at the hub. It's so not the
Okay.
Dayton RTA hub, but right across from there, there is a hub that like the UD
Yeah.
students go in.
Yeah.
Yes, that
Yes.
entrepreneur
Yep.
hub. So we're gonna have it in there. So the aesthetic in there is so cute, and tickets can be purchased on Eventbrite, excuse me, and that link is on my page. So if you would like to attend the workshop, if you have some free time, April the 28th, that Sunday, please join us. We're gonna have a good time, and then maybe you can drop some gems that you may know of that would be helpful to somebody else. And like if we don't come from a rich family, a rich family can come from us. So
Yes. Yep.
that's the motto that I am just living by at this point, changing that narrative and getting us out of the funnel that we have been in for so long.
Yeah. Yes.
Uh-huh.
I agree.
So,
So
yeah,
let's
girl, that's
recap. So we got the Growth University. We got the raffle that's going on that ends on Sunday.
yes. And
People
and
can
you
cash
can
out you
enter.
$1.
You can enter more than $1. If you enter, for example, if you enter $5, then that's 5 raffle tickets. If you enter
Okay.
$3, that's 3 raffle tickets. But if you enter just $1, then you are entered into the raffle, and you can enter for a chance to win the self-reflection cards, which is a 57 deck of self-reflection, self-introspection cards that are so dope, I promise. And then, yes, I am announcing the winner of the raffle this Sunday,
Are you going to do it
and
live
I'm
or?
doing it live
Okay.
because I want people to know that I'm
Yeah.
being fair.
Yeah.
You know what
Yes.
I'm saying?
Okay.
Like everybody that's entered, as soon as they enter, I heart that what they cash at me. I have
Okay.
hearted it, and then I have just put their name on a note, like a sticky note, and then I
Yeah.
close it on the sticky part and put it in a jar. So I am just so grateful. I didn't expect so many people to enter into the raffle, but yeah,
So what
let's
if they
get
want to purchase some?
it.
Are they able to purchase your cards right now,
Yes.
or how can people do that?
So, okay, they would only be able to pre-order them right now. I have
Okay.
had a couple of people pre-order. I did order a large bulk of these cards, and they should be here in the next 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, when I get these cards, I'm going to be open to shipping them. I'm going to be open to delivering them. It doesn't matter where you live. And I'm going to announce when the cards are in, show everybody that the pack is in, and the cards are $25 for
Okay.
purchase. So for right now, they're $25. That's convenient and affordable self-care for you that you moms and you dads can provide to yourself at home in the comfort of your own home when you're by yourself. Um, just the self-reflection questions are so good and meaty. I'm very excited about
Yeah.
them.
I can't wait to see it in person because I've not seen your cards yet. So
They
I look
look
forward
so
to seeing them.
good.
They look good on the videos and
My
stuff. So
distributor, I was like, okay, because I only ordered one from my distributor at first, because I'm like, let me just see what you working with. They're like,
right.
you want
Right.
gloss, you want this and this on, I'm answering the questions and all that, and I was like, let's see.
Yeah.
They came in, I was like, yay, they look so good. So yeah, I sent in another order. I'm like, these same ones, honey, give me a whole bunch
Right.
of them. Yes. And, I'm claiming it in Jesus' name. These cards are going to end up being in at least one store in the next 5 years. They're going to be in at least one store. They're going to be available online in Jesus' name. They're going to be available on Amazon or in Target or in Walmart. I'm talking about, I hope we go back to this live and be able to see just how the cards have grown. But my main mojo right now, my goal is to get them in people's hands so that they can really start working on themselves and see how they feel after doing these cards, how they feel about how they're navigating their own journeys. So
Yeah.
yeah, get you some
Yeah.
self-discovery in 2 weeks. They are available. They're only $25. So yeah.
Everybody go and support Tiarra and Growth University. Go get them cards. Go ahead and put in for that raffle. Do the dollar. We will have all the information in the comments.
Thank you.
So you are
And
welcome.
continue to show y'all's love and support for Wisdom and Wine. We be seeing the views, we see the comments.
Yes, we are so
I see
thankful for
our
the
last
support.
video girl had 1K. I said,
Yeah.
oh shoot, Big brought the people. Okay,
I
Big brought the
know.
folks. He was such a joy to have on.
Yes, and we are going to try to make sure we bring to the people a little bit more sessions when we can, especially now we can do this. It makes it more
Yeah.
convenient, get in a session. So we will probably try to have somebody else on for next month, for the month of April. Not sure who, what yet, but we'll see.
It'll be
And then,
another deep dive and a really good conversation though. So y'all make sure y'all tune in.
Yes.
is number
We
one.
definitely appreciate the support. So
Mhm.
thank you, Tiara, for sharing your Growth University experience and everything that you're doing. We are so proud of you, especially me as your friend.
Thank you.
Because I
I
have been
love you
walking
to
this
pieces,
journey for you.
girl.
It's been really great.
We
So
literally, it's so crazy. We started off this journey really not even knowing what it was gonna look like for you or me.
yeah.
We just know
Yeah.
we was both leaving a situation that was unhealthy for both of us.
I was wondering where I was over here nervous where you were going with that.
We was both
I
leaving
was
an
over here like
unhealthy situation.
we was both. I was like, oh God, what's she about to say? Girl, you know my funny acting butt be like, leave that past back there, leave it back there.
When you
No,
start
get it
doing this, I'm gonna know
together.
exactly what
Oh
you're talking
Lord.
about.
I'm like, oh
No, but like seriously, we met through some really odd
yes, yes.
circumstances, some uncomfortable, crappy circumstances, but God really blessed us with a evolving, beautiful friendship that
Yes,
is
yes.
so genuine.
He
And
knew. He was like, God
yeah,
was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and let this friendship jump off out of this because let me go ahead and let them just at least be like, well, I mean, he did something right.
God was up there with a
Brought us together.
clipboard, like send so and so here and here and her here and get it going. He knew what he was doing. And look at how it's evolved, okay? I'm grateful to be a whole co-host on your beautiful platform. So,
Because we surely didn't think the day sitting in the living room that was what it was gonna evolve to at that point.
girl,
What was it? It was
that day.
Easter. It was Easter, the day after
Yeah.
Easter. Was
Yep.
it Easter or the day
And
after Easter?
did we grab a drink that day? I feel
No,
like we needed a drink and grabbed a drink or
no,
something.
no, no. That
Not
was
that day.
afterwards. That was
Okay.
after you and you and Jen went to Mango's.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
after. But that day, I thought it was that day. It was on Easter. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it would be Easter's this weekend, next weekend.
So would that make us 2 years of friendship or three? I can't remember.
I don't remember either. It's been such bliss. We've just lost track of time.
We really have.
It's been such friendship bliss. We don't even count no more. Isn't that what they
I
say in
mean,
marriages? I don't even know.
okay, we literally just been living our little lives,
I
and
know.
but even just
It's
seeing
probably, I
blessings
think it's
for both
going
of
on
us.
3.
I
Might be
think
going on
three
3.
too. But like, it's wild though, because I've been seeing just God just pouring blessings in your life, and with me too,
Hmm.
and we both just been there for each other through some crazy stuff, but also some really exciting stuff.
Yeah, it has been. It's been a fun journey.
Girl, look at us looking like sisters on here.
Girl, I got some new glasses too.
I like those
These ain't
frames, by the
them.
way.
These are my old ones. I
Oh,
gotta get them.
okay, but I do like those though. You
Thank
look
you.
so
Yeah, I
cute.
got some new glasses. So yeah, my eyes are getting old. I just told somebody the other day, I said, boy, I said, I won't be 50 until next year. But I told Jen, I said, girl, I said, I was telling her about my eyes and this left eye, it just is slowly, surely deteriorating over here. and I
Really?
and I told her, I said, boy, I said 50 trying to come in with a vengeance over here.
Okay, girl,
50
but
knocking
look,
like, okay, well, this is what I'm about to do for you. Yeah,
honey,
'cause, girl,
look,
I didn't never wear
50
glasses.
is giving fine and 50 because
Okay.
friend, you over there with the skin, the dimples ain't lost a dent. Girl,
Girl, right. It's the dimples that keep me looking young.
I love it. Look, we really do look
I
like
know.
sisters a little bit. That's so
These
funny.
dimples.
But yes, 50 wear because you just look amazing. I hope I look just as
Thank
good
you.
as you, girl.
Thank you. I feel pretty
When I hit
amazing.
that club.
I feel pretty amazing. I really ain't got nothing to complain about for real. I have those little, like, aches and creaks like anybody, but, nothing to complain
I
about,
tell you what, as soon as the 30s came, I started feeling aches and pains. I said, what the hell? Yeah, my knees. And I was like, come on now,
I feel
what
like it was
happened that
40 for
fast?
me. I feel like 40 came and I was like, what is going on? In the
Yes,
past couple
girl.
years, girl, these hips and stuff, ooh,
My
it don't
hips
matter.
too. I
Yeah.
have to like be very like intentional about stretching because if I miss it for a couple of weeks, bending down, I'm like, it hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. It be these hips. I be like, Lord, where'd these come
Okay.
from? I mean, I know where
Listen,
they came from, but
I
you
know where they came from too. Look at you laughing.
One day I'll get to talk about that.
Uh-huh, girl. Yeah.
One day I'll get to share my story.
Look at that glow that happened as soon as you start talking about that.
My son, I'm talking about my son. He makes me smile.
Uh-huh. But thank you, friend. I hope
You're
that you have
welcome.
a wonderful day.
You too.
We're gonna put these in the comments, and then I'm gonna
Yes.
try to give you a call this evening just so we can catch up on just how
Yeah, I was going to
things
ask
have
you.
been.
I was going to tell you to give me a call, or I give you a call or something.
Hey, Brittany. Brittany
Hi,
done tapped in on.
Brittany.
Hey, girl. Brittany was at the museum with us too. Girl, we got here, and as soon as I got on live, RJ got to acting a fool, Brittany. He was like, "Come on, mommy!" Ah! Acting crazy. But yeah, thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of Wisdom and Wine with the
Yes.
beautiful Ferris.
We will be
And
back soon, and you all go and support Tiarra's page, Growth University. It's Growth, and then how you spell the university, Tiarra, so they know.
YOU University.
Okay.
So you, because I am rooted in the growth of
Yeah.
you. So university, and it's spelled like that on all of my platforms. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I am on Facebook. My biggest following is on TikTok. So I'm grateful about that. But that's a lot, and it's crazy because a lot of people that do support Growth University are not in the city. So that's a whole other conversation because people say that all the time that you'll get support
Yeah.
more from complete strangers
Yeah.
than people that know you. And like I'm really seeing that, and like God has just been helping me to not focus on that, because at first it used to hurt my feelings really, like because I'm like, I'm here for I'm here for y'all, dating, like I'm here for y'all, like this is where I'm trying to make the change at, because I'm from here and I love my city so much. And like God was like, stop focusing on that and just focus on the impact. Like,
And
and when
don't
God,
even focus on the likes. Like I was reading something about
yeah,
that today. Like don't focus on the likes and the comments. And you know how much, because a lot of times people notice, but they just ain't even engaging. They might not like it, but they're seeing it.
that's
Just like when
right.
we went to Black Wine Fest and that, we did that wine with that lady, with and she said, I saw your tags. We didn't know that. You know what I mean? She knew who we were just by us standing in
Yeah,
line, just because she saw us do a wisdom and wine session and we tagged her wine. So
yeah.
yeah,
So
people notice a
they
lot more than
do,
what
and like
we may think.
I do feel like some people genuinely do support me from here. So I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm just saying like that most of my following are
Oh,
people who are
yeah.
not from
Oh,
here.
yeah. Yeah.
I've met people from Maryland who have been touched by my
Yeah.
videos, Detroit, people who have been touched by my videos. And I'm just like, it amazes me and it makes me feel grateful because I know that the impact is happening somewhere and that's what matters. But it's just
Yes.
like, you know, going back to that vision, I'm trying to make the change right here in the city.
Yeah.
I'm trying to I'm trying to be in the hood with it. I'm not trying to be in Oakwood or Kettering with it. I'm trying to be in the city with the initiative so that I can help moms and dads and just people who are going through some mental health challenges. So
Yes.
look, Brittany laughing because I said Oakwood, I bet. Oakwood. We're not trying to be there with it. No, we in the hood with it.
It's the accent for me. Is that how they talk in Oakwood?
Girl, that's it. As soon as you cross over into the Oakwood, it feel like that's what it's like. Might as well be somebody with a damn violin right there in the beginning. Like, welcome to Oakwood. The whole thing changed once you start heading up that little hill towards the
Oh,
side of
shoot.
town. Okay,
That's
the whole
hilarious.
thing changed. You got to make sure the police ain't follow. Look, everything is different when you head over.
I made
But
sure I drove my bougie car when I knew I was going through Oakwood. So I would
okay,
fit
girl.
in. When I
Listen,
tell you that one time I said you got what I tell you, didn't I tell you that one time I said with my keys, I'd be like, this is the one. where you got to actually put the key in the ignition. This
Yeah.
is the one where men will give you some attention because, they're going to be like, oh, but the other one I had to, I'll be hiding that one. I don't want them to see that one.
Girl, you showing that one.
Let these people, I want the men to think I'm over here on the struggle bus. I need somebody to help take care of me.
Okay, girl. You showing that other one.
I
They're
gotta
gonna
put a
start
whole
calling you
key
Big
in
Bunny.
I gotta put a whole key in the ignition.
You are so silly. Okay. But
nowadays if you got a key for an ignition, that car's old.
Yeah.
Girl, why did I get in that car the other day and I'm trying to push the
For real?
I was like, oh, because
That's how you know you hadn't drove that in a minute. That's how you know.
I was in Walgreens and got in and was like, oh wait, wrong car.
That's hilarious. Girl, yeah. People see that other key and they'll be like, oh, she got some big money.
It's not like that.
I know, but you know how people are.
I know. People count their pockets.
Oh,
they like to count their pockets.
But I will. I'm going to call you this evening,
Yes,
and I'm going to leave everything in the comments. As soon as
leave everything in the comments.
Yep.
Thank you to everybody that watched us today. We appreciate it.
Yep.
I
Love you,
will be
Brittany
posting
girl.
this on YouTube as well for those who don't, can't like maybe possibly watch it on Facebook. It will be
Brittany
on
says
YouTube.
she loves your car.
Thank you.
Girl, that's her favorite color too.
I know. Thank you. Tiarra won't drive it.
Oh yeah. She wouldn't trust me driving in no way. She like, Tiarra. No, but I when you did say something to me about I was like, oh hell no, friend. This is too luxury for me to be here. I'm not there yet.
You said I'm not there yet, but we need to get you there. That way when you it really isn't like maxed out with everything I could have had on it.
Yeah.
But
it's loaded enough to where I'm not pushing the button.
It's not. There's a lot of things I wanted that I didn't get, but I did it because that color, really, to be honest with you.
I love that color.
The
car on that car.
Color will get me to keep the car, but I would if it wasn't for the color, I probably would have traded it in already.
Girl.
But that color, I know I ain't gonna find nothing,
It's gorgeous.
It's that color. It's so rare. I don't know if I told you, but my son works at Sky Air Force Base, and out there somebody has one. Just like he took a picture of it. He said it's an older lady. She was pulling in the base and had the exact same. It was the exact same one.
And it ain't a lot of people with that car.
No, when I got it and I took it to the dealership in Dayton, they told me that at that time it was only 3 in the tri-state area at that time, and it used to be 4. They said, but the girl who did have one was at the Air Force Base, but they said she must have got transferred because they don't see it anymore. So I told Derek, I was like, but he said that was an older lady, but I don't think they said it was somebody who was older. I didn't think who had it because I thought, well, maybe it could be the same person, because they'll move you around. But it was the irony, like that it was somebody. But I do know there was a lady in Trotwood who has one. Hers was I think a 17. Mm-hmm. And then there is a older couple in Oakwood who has one.
Good old Oakwood.
Yeah, and I only know that couple because when I would take it to the dealership, the service manager and me became kind of like just would talk, and he's the one who told me. So he said I had one of 3. Now I've never seen one down here in Cincinnati at all.
Yeah.
As of yet. So yeah, it gets a lot of attention, but you'd be surprised how many men, like in the summer when it's clean, and how many men actually even say something about it, even though it's that rose gold color. Like, yeah, it really actually does get a lot more attention than what I ever expected.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm trying to drive her more because I got her miles down real low. So I was kind of trying to keep my miles down. She is. I'm gonna take her out of town next weekend. Next week she's gonna roll out with me and get her on the highway. She don't go out of town often. I don't even know if I have once or twice. So I am gonna take her out of town with me.
Yeah, girl, take her on out and hit the road with her.
I am.
I will see you next weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah.
My little badass grandson.
Girl, when I tell you he be blowing Kennedy down. They be on that phone. I hear them like log on to Fortnite. I'm like,
They be on there getting to it. I'm just so glad that they hit it off though, that they get
Yeah.
along so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be
My
like,
son's computer is down.
DJ, I am at school. He'd be like, okay.
Yeah. My son's computer is down right now, so he ain't been able to get on there. So it's been driving me a little crazy.
Oh
So he's supposed
Lord.
to
Yeah.
get to go get fixed tomorrow. So yeah, his computer's down, so that whole house is a little out of whack.
He ain't called today though. He hasn't called her today. Unless they probably have talked on something else. You know, they be on Monopoly and girl, I can't keep up with these
Yeah,
kids.
they're so cute. They'll be happy to see each other, even though they sometimes would act kind of weird. You know what I mean? At first, like like they didn't know each other, who they were.
Yeah. Girl, but they're gonna have a really good time. So
Yeah, but yes, definitely call me later.
I will.
I will have the time, so hit me up.
All right.
Thank
Bye
you,
everybody.
everybody. Have a good Friday evening. Y'all stay safe this weekend, and until we come back, till next time. Bye.